Me and my girlfriend play Stardew Valley at least once a week. She goes to the community center, donates to the museum, takes care of our animals, manages her farm, and I sit and fish, well, most of the day. But that's not all I do. I also mine. I have quite a big farm, and it's structured well enough. I focus on these three things for a particular reason, and if you know what that reason is, well, you can clearly tell what my intentions are. However, there is something unique about the experience we both have. Though we have completely different playstyles, we still have a lot of fun playing together. There are many reasons for this, but one that stands out to me is the amount of freedom you have when playing the game. This can be shown by how the game is designed. In Stardew Valley, you inherit your grandfather's old farm and you begin your life on the first day of spring. This is the first important element of the game. It's time dependent. The game has 4 different seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Each of those seasons have 28 days, and within those 28 days, you start every day at 6 AM and fall asleep before 2 AM. If you don't, well, you'll be having a nice bill to pay in the morning. Once the year has gone by, the next year begins and everything repeats. This means there's no limit to the amount of years that go by. Even though you have time to work around with, time is actually unlimited. This is the first step of achieving that player freedom. Of course, having unlimited time is pointless without some form of substance to fill the time in, and Stardew Valley has a lot of substance. You can gather resources from mining, combat, fishing, foraging, and farming, and those resources can be used to craft new items, to make money, or just something to give the community members in the game. Just please don't be mean to Linus, he doesn't have a lot. You also have your own farm to build up on, quests and jobs to complete, people to target practice with, the list goes on. The point is that there are many tasks that you can do. This combined with the unlimited amount of time in the game stops the restriction of what you can do. Of course, if you've played the game, you'll know that you can't do anything at any time. Some crops can only be planted at certain seasons, and some fish can only be caught under certain circumstances. This is because the game does revolve around the calendar, and it does involve you doing some form of planning on what you should be doing during the year. However, if you missed a chance to do something, that's okay, because the point is that you can do those things whenever the opportunity persists, and that opportunity will always occur. However, after a while the game does begin to slow down. You may have gone through many years, have all the money in the world, and now all you're doing is making your farm look pretty. I remember going through forums and seeing others go through the same problem. After a certain point in the game, there's just nothing to do. Of course, most of us haven't spent hundreds of hours and completed every aspect of the game, but our main goal is still achieved. In order to continue having more fun, we would have to plan for more goals to work on, and that can work for some, but not everyone. Thankfully, there are solutions to this, and one of them is the modding capabilities of the game. Eric Barone, also known as Concerned Ape, is the sole developer of Stardew Valley, and something that he allows is the use of modding for the game. On Twitter, he tweeted out that patch 1.4.1, released on December 2nd of 2019, would be compatible with a modding API called SMAPI, also known as Snappy. Yeah, it's a pretty cute name. Now, Snappy is a mod loader for Stardew Valley, and mods are often found on well-known websites like Nexus Mods. With the use of modding, the players are capable of changing many things in the game. They can have a visual mod that changes the aesthetics, gameplay mods that add new features like having a tractor to make farming a hell of a lot easier, and story mods that expand or make changes to the storylines of characters. The fact that Concerned Abe tries to work with compatibility showcases his appreciation for the modding community. This truly does help broaden the Stardew Valley experience. The other solution that comes into mind was the massive update that was released on August the 1st of 2018. That was the multiplayer update. This was a monumental update to the game. Not only were there new items and events, but there was an official way to play with friends. This just amplified the possibilities this game had. Now there would be more than one player playing in this game on the same farm, with new goals being made, and goals that were made by you and your friends. And this brings it back to me playing this game with my girlfriend. We both had the same goal in mind. We both wanted to build up a nice farm together, but I focused on making money initially and she focuses on doing a little bit of everything in Stardew Valley. She's not restricted with what she wants to do and neither am I, so we both can do different things but still come together and achieve the same goal. When we look at the game as a whole from the outside perspective, we can see that the game itself has a more substantial amount of content already, and even more when the multiplayer is involved, and even more when mods are involved. In reality, the game can be played for hours on end, or it can be played for a few hours instead, if you much prefer that. This is because the game doesn't actually have an end goal. The only real end goal to this game is one that you create, and the way you get there is completely up to you. This is the perfect interpretation of player freedom. Thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a like and consider subscribing. If you would like to help me out further, please do consider sharing this video amongst others that find it of interest. This is something that I've enjoyed creating, and it is something that I plan on continuing in the future. Now, here's a thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon. You all do help me out a lot, so thank you so much for that. A special thanks to my top patrons, Mark Lammut, The Demon Striker, and Ouija Boo. As always, take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.